My unit didn't assault Iwo the first wave. We were in some succeeding waves, but we weren't the first wave because, and I remember there were a hell of a lot of dead. Some guys still floating in the water.
Holding on to this island was vital to the defense of mainland Japan, and the Marines faced stiff resistance.
In my unit, I really thought, and I know that a couple of our officers felt that we were going to get kicked off at Iwo. We were going to have to pull back and go try to get back on a ship because their defensive fire was deadly, accurate, deadly. And how those guys ever climbed up and managed to make it on the flag raising at Mount Suribachi at the other end.
On February 23rd, a group of Marines made it to the summit of Mount Suribachi.
I thought about, this is what we're fighting for.
Price was assigned to his company CO as a radio man.
And this radio has about a 4 or 5 foot antenna extension. When I crawled out of the foxhole, I momentarily stopped, and there was a loudest snap I've ever heard in my life. I knew immediately what the hell it was. And I felt a little jolt in my back. And sure enough, that Jap had fired and had clipped right down close to my ear, had clipped the top of the antennae right off the radio. I mean, luckily it wasn't my head.
The intense fighting was too much for some of Bob's comrades.
And several of these fellows broke down on Iwo mentally. I remember helping Navy corpsmen hold down some Marines that were biting at the earth, biting at the ground, thrashing. And I remember the corpsmen would take out of their little pack deals little cigarettes of morphine, and they'd jab the guy's arm and squeeze the tube, and then within a matter of a few minutes, probably, the guys thrashing around stuff would subside. But we had a few men on after we hit Iwo Jima that just simply cracked up. I was fortunate. I kept my cool and did my thing.